Live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in this time. Everybody that's here, I greatly appreciate it. Anybody watching on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, got our first preseason win. Again, same thing as the losses, right? Like, when you don't have everybody, it's hard to really properly gauge, the full extent of this team. Don't get too high with the highs, too low with the lows in preseason. But I loved what we saw, right? It was clear Lakers had a couple more practices. Things were a little tighter, particularly on the defensive side of things. I'm still curious to see what does it look like with Marcus Smart back and stuff like that. But, you saw this team was a lot more, like things were a lot more, organized. Even on the offensive side of things, they had a clear plan. They were running clear actions where, the previous two games, it was kind of just, it was almost like they were just out there playing, right? Just go out there and hoop, which, JJ Redick himself said, that like, hey, we only got like 2 practices and then immediately jumped into preseason. So, it's good to see the growth and improvement from, the first 2 preseason games to now, right? Like that's what you want to see. Each preseason game, you want to see this Lakers team get a little better. Again, it's hard to fully judge this Lakers team solely on preseason, especially when, Austin Reaves plays half the game. Luka's not playing at all. LeBron not going to play at all. But you saw some really good signs. Lakers are going to be very good offensively. I have said all offseason, right? Lakers are going to be probably the best offense in all of basketball. At worst, I think they'll be top 3. And they put up numbers without LeBron, without Luka, and without Austin Reaves for half a game. And I really liked what I saw from just this team, period, right? I thought there was some really nice just moments. So made a couple notes. I want to go over a couple notes and then we'll jump into all the super chat questions, all the regular chat questions, all of that stuff. But, I talked about how, Lakers, they look a lot better. You can clearly tell that they practice. Offense, I think, is going to be great. But as far as players go, I thought Reaves was much better too, right? Again, we know Austin Reaves can score the basketball, right? But it's not just him scoring the basketball. It's him being the offensive engine, trying to get other guys involved, trying to, set and play within the system and offense, right? The first game he played, because it's only the second game he played, first game he played, you saw him just out there getting aggressive, went out, dropped 20. Well, again, this game, he gave you 21 on 7 to 10 from the floor, 2 of 4 from 3, which I think is important as well. He also got he got fouled a couple times at the 3-point line. So couple things that I want to see from Austin Reaves in particular is, again, his ability to make plays, right? As well as being aggressive and scoring the basketball. His turnovers, which, 5 turnovers, that I'm not a fan of. Rui also had 4. Lakers had a lot of turnovers this game, but again, it's preseason. Not going to get too on people's cases, but we definitely something that we need to continue to improve on, something that we need to kind of clean up. But again, being able to make plays, his assists, because again, we know he can go and drop 20, but we're going to need Austin Reaves, the versatile all-around guy, right? The Luka-like guy. And I thought you saw a much more kind of balance. He was getting guys involved. He wasn't kind of tunnel vision as much. He kind of was balancing out the aggression. Yeah, he only had 3 assists, but you saw him moving the ball a lot more than in the previous game, where I just felt like he was out there just looking to go drop 30 or try to score as much as he could in the 15 minutes he played. I really liked what I saw from Austin Reaves, and defensively, right? That's the key. Austin Reaves, I thought, was actually good defensively, right? That's all we need. I'm not asking for Austin Reaves to be elite. I'm not asking him to be Jared Vanderbilt, but can he stay in front of guys? Can he defend guys, right? Can he do he's not going to have to defend the best guy every night, because you got Marcus Smart, you got Jared Vanderbilt, you got guys, Gabe Vincent even, right, that can do that. So can Austin Reaves just be good defensively, serviceable defensively? I thought he did that tonight. I thought he was actually good. I didn't think he was just serviceable. I thought he had some nice plays. He was moving his feet well. He was switching well. Just in general, I thought he had a really good, just 2 sides of the game. Another guy that I really liked is Dalton Knecht, right? Look, I've been very critical of Dalton Knecht. I still think that they need to trade him. I still think that if we get the Dalton Knecht we saw tonight, Lakers are going to be excited because that means they can go and trade him at a higher value. But as long as the Lakers have Dalton Knecht, I'd love to see this Dalton Knecht. Look, I've talked about it. I would love to see Dalton Knecht turn it around. I just don't know if he'd be able to. But really, again, it's the defensive side of things. They talked about in the last live stream of Dalton Knecht, right? Dalton Knecht, he's going to have games where he goes and gives you 20, right? If he plays, assuming he's not just on the bench the entirety of the season, he's going to have that random game where he goes and gives you 20 or whatever. But my thing about him is, again, the defensive side of things. Can he be, again, serviceable defensively? Because his ability to get hot at any moment, his ability to stretch the floor has a lot of value for the Lakers. And, I liked what he did on the defensive side tonight, right? Again, I'm not expecting him to be elite. I'm not expecting him to be our best defensive player, but can you stay in front of guys? Can you make sure you're not getting just blown by every possession? I actually thought Dalton Knecht actually had some good defensive sequences. I thought he moved his feet well. He stayed in front of guys. Got beat a couple times, but it happens, right? Like, I thought Dalton Knecht actually had a nice game. I thought he had a really good game. And it was like, man, if he just gives us this, and especially with LeBron out, I think he's going to get early opportunities. If he can, I'm not even saying he has to give us 16, right? If he could be, 10 points, grab a couple rebounds, dish out a couple assists, be that off-ball threat that can get hot at any moment and we know can go drop 30, but also just stay in front of guys and defend a little bit. Beautiful. Perfect. That's all I want. I'm not looking for him to be super elite and our best two-way guy in the NBA. But next up, I want to talk about DeAndre Ayton. So a couple things about Ayton, right? I love how he's bought in. He's hustling, rebounding, protecting the paint. He's doing so much for this team. But I love his versatility. It's one of the things that I talked about this offseason when we went and got DeAndre Ayton, that he's a guy you don't have to necessarily run plays for, a guy that can self-create, a guy that can put the ball on the deck. You can even run your offense through him at times, right? A guy that can be very versatile. So to me, I thought this game was, you look at his stat line, it was his best game, but I just thought he played about as perfect and beautiful of a game as possible. Like if he gave us exactly what he gave us tonight on a regular basis, good luck. Lakers might win the championship. He didn't do anything crazy. He was 6 of 8 from the floor, 2 of 2 from the foul line, 8 rebounds, including 3 offensive rebounds, so gave us second chance points. But he gave us 5 assists. They were running their offense through him at times on the high screen. Right? He had 2 steals, a block, and 14 points. Right? Like if he's 14 and 10, right? If he's giving us 14 and 10 on average, giving us a couple blocks, giving us a couple steals, making some plays out of the post, his ability to run your offense through him at times, but also can just be the role man. You don't have to give him the ball every possession, right? Like, I just think that that's so valuable. He's going to be incredibly efficient. He's going to score the basketball. Luka Doncic is going to make him look better than he's ever looked in his career. But it's just, again, it's that versatility, the athleticism, the hustle, the buy-in on the defensive side of things. Thought the Lakers were much better defensively. Still not where I want it to be defensively, but again, we'll get there, slow and steady type thing. But I do like what we're seeing from him as far as just, again, the defensive buy-in, the defensive hustle, the grind, all of those things. And then Gabe Vincent, I really liked how Gabe Vincent is playing. Again, he's playing defense. He's getting after it. He's initiating and getting us into our actions on the offensive side of things. And he's hitting shots, right? Like, again, not a guy that I'm expecting to be, 50% from 3-point range. But again, if he could be, you look at the last 3 months of the season, he shot 38% from 3-point range. That's all I'm asking for. Right? Go and give us, 8 to 10 points on a nightly basis, average, knock down a couple threes, make a couple plays, get a couple steals, right? Like just be the buy-in guy. And I think that'll be perfect, right? Him, Jared Vanderbilt. Jared Vanderbilt continues to just be great. 3-point shooting still isn't there, but like I said, I really think he just needs reps. I want him to keep shooting, particularly in preseason. His shot is better. It's smoother. He's more confident. He even attacked the closeout, stopped on a dime, and shot and elevated over the top. I loved it. I know he didn't hit it. He actually missed the shot, but I love that has the confidence at least now to take that shot. I just think he needs those in-game reps. Rui Hachimura, I love the aggression from him. This game, again, he's got to take better care of the basketball. 4 turnovers preseason. Don't want to get on him too much. But we saw the reports came out that JJ Redick really wants Rui to be more aggressive. And I agree, right? Like, don't settle. I don't know how much opportunity he's going to have to really put the ball on the deck and go and make shots and do all these things. But, he doesn't have to always settle for threes. Right? He's emerged and evolved into like that great off-ball player, which is great. You want that with Luka, LeBron, Austin Reaves, DeAndre Ayton, all that stuff. But, pick your spots. Be able to put the ball on the deck, get to your spot, shoot over the top, right? Rui's got one of the best mid-range games in all of basketball. Take advantage of that. I'd love to kind of see him continue to hit shots and whatnot. Nick Smith Jr., again, I'm continue to be impressed by him. I thought he was, again, good defensively, not elite, not great, anything like that, but staying in front of guys. I mean, you only got 6 minutes, but he's looking like a guy that could be exactly what I said I want him to be, which is that Lou Williams type role. I think he's a guy that could come in, slot in, and be that guy. RJ Davis, I really like what we're seeing from him as far as the young guys go. I think I said this basically every game we've played. I really think he could be our like Gabe Vincent replacement, right? Whether we trade Gabe Vincent this season or if we say let him walk in the offseason, I really do think that there's a good shot and a good chance that, he may be able to kind of play that role, that hustle, 3-and-D style, 3-level scorer, can apply ball pressure, things like that. I think could really could do some wonders. And then Nate Williams, last kind of young guy that played. Look, I talked about him. I don't think it was the last Warriors. I think it was the first game. Like, he looks like a just solid dirty work player, right? Hustle guy, diving for loose balls, being aggressive on defense, whatnot. He's 6'5", so I don't know how much opportunity he will get in the long run, but it's just nice to see some of these young guys really kind of step up and play well. But anyway, enough of my rants and breakdowns of players. Again, I'm really excited. Can't take too much from Summer League either way, right? Like, just like when I talk about the losses, I'm not going to come on here and be like, well, we just won, so we're the best team ever, right? Like, I love the win. I'm glad we got the win. Like I said, I want to win a couple of these. I don't really care either way. It doesn't count towards our record or anything. I care more about how do the players look that matter? How are the players that we know we're going to be relying on a regular basis? How are they looking? And I think that, we're looking like a good team. We'll see how this all looks once Austin or Luka Doncic is back and Marcus Smart and stuff like that. And then we can start really kind of gearing up for the first game of the season against the Golden State Warriors. But anyway, let's dive into all the super chat questions, all the regular chat questions, all of that stuff real quick. If you haven't yet, hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button for me. Let me get a sip of my drink here. Throat's a little dry today, a little scratchy, but let's dive into it. So, Ayton doesn't always need Luka. He can self-cheat, especially by the mid-range. Yeah, I knew what you meant, self-create. Yeah, and that's one of the things that I really like about DeAndre Ayton, and I talked about when we got him, right? I was doing all the breakdown videos and stuff about him, right? He's a guy that we know can create offensively. He's a guy that can shoot over either shoulder, right? I did an entire video breaking down the difference between him and Jackson Hayes and how we saw an issue, right? Like, Jackson Hayes and Luka Doncic, that two-man game was like automatic early on. And then teams started making the adjustments. Even Austin Reaves talked about it. Like, teams just made the adjustments on us. Problem with Jackson Hayes is Jackson Hayes, you cut off that lob threat, he's basically lost, right? If you dump the ball back down to him, he's either kicking it back out or he's taking a shot you don't want him to take, right? Well, with DeAndre Ayton, if you try to close off that lob threat, Luka can still dump it down to him, and now he's on an island closer to the basket. He can just shoot over either shoulder. He can stop and pop and knock down the little elbow, knock down the little mid-range. You saw him get into the paint. He's got the little push shot. He's a guy that can score, right? Like, again, I said this when we got him. People forget we're not that far removed from real conversations about him being a top 3 to 5 center in all of basketball, right? Like there was like, hey, is this guy the next great center in the league? When he was anchoring the number 3 defense in all of basketball and was going toe to toe against Anthony Davis in an NBA playoffs, right? Like there was that conversation. We're not that far removed from that. He just needs to buy in, and I think that things will be good. But what's going on, Cyber? Ayton really stood out in a good way. Yes, I loved what we're seeing from Ayton so far through these 3 games. The buy-in on both sides of the basketball, running our offense through him, right? Like he's making plays out of the post. He's making plays on the high screen. Like he looks really good. That jumper was hitting, yes. Reaves is Kyrie Irving Jr., bro. I don't know. I don't know about Kyrie Irving. Like to me, he reminds me more because Kyrie's such a unique talent. He reminds me more of like James Harden light, right? Like I like the James Harden comparison. He's, kind of slow and methodical, not explosive. He's not like crossing like Austin Reed. Like Kyrie Irving's doing like wizardry out there. Like if this was the 70s, right, people would be accusing him of witchcraft out there, right? Like he's out there just cooking and like doing insane things, where James Harden was more just kind of methodical, a little more crafty, putting the, kind of revealing the ball, baiting you into fouling, and then trying to finish through the contact. Like Austin Reaves is very James Harden-esque, right? Obviously he's not James Harden. But I think, it's a very good, like if you want to compare him to like a star, I think James Harden is probably the best. Austin Reaves, again, and I'm very critical of Austin Reaves, but like I said, I believe I'm fair, right? Austin Reaves is one of the best kind of just guys that get into the rim, creating that dribble penetration, and then baiting teams into contact. Some people think, he gets the whistle, whatever. Hey, he does it. He's not a superstar, but, people talk about the whistle he gets and stuff. That's him creating. My problem is, and like you saw with James Harden, which is why I think if you're going to compare him to anybody, James Harden is probably the best, because just like you see James Harden in the regular season, he's able to bait, he's getting the whistle, he's getting all those things. Come playoff time, that whistle dries up. You don't get those opportunities, and you just start to see Harden decline. It's the same thing with Austin Reaves. During the regular season, he's getting the whistle, he's baiting guys in, get to the playoffs, whistle dries up, right? Now he's just getting hacked out there. They're not calling it. And so now he's not able to kind of run up. And then if he's not having a good shooting night, you see at times he'll just put the ball on the deck, get to the foul line, see the ball go in the hoop a couple times. When you don't get that, has a struggle. So I think that that's just a better comparison personally. I'm liking Nick Smith Jr. becoming that bucket getter off the bench. Exactly, 1,000%. I mean, the moment we got him, I was like, he could be our Lou Williams, right? Like, I just think he's a guy that showed already in Charlotte that he's a bucket, right? Lakers were a team that needs buckets off the bench, right? They were dead last in bench scoring last season. I don't know if Nick Smith Jr. will get the opportunity this year, just because, again, we have a full roster. Obviously, if the Lakers pull off a trade or anything at some point, I think it might be nice to kind of bring him in, let him be that bucket. But man, if he as soon as next season, I could see him being a bucket getter for us off the bench in a good way. I'm loving RJ and Smith Jr. likewise. Like I said, I think those two guys, you can have them like cheap options off the bench. I think that would be great. I'm liking RJ and Nick. Yes, agreed. What's going on, Junior? Appreciate you being here. Let's see. The Lakers struggle when AR is off the floor. Yeah, I mean, especially when you don't have Luka or LeBron, right? Austin Reaves is your primary engine when those guys aren't out there, right? It's why in that first preseason game, I was kind of critical, right? Like, yes, I know you can score 20. I'm not worried about you scoring the basketball. You just averaged the season. But can you run the offense, right? You saw the offense didn't look very good, right? He's going to drop a 20. That's great. But again, can he kind of find that balance? This game, I thought he did a much better job of that. I thought he was good defensively. Again, don't need him to be elite. Just be serviceable. Just don't get, blown by every possession, right? I thought he did a good job on the defensive side, and I thought he was, playing within the offense. You can be aggressive. I have no problems with Austin Reaves being aggressive. Go get your 20 to 25. No problem. But you need to have that balance, right? The whole idea of Luka and Austin Reaves in a post-LeBron era is you got Luka Doncic, who is, 38-8, and Austin Reaves without LeBron is a 28-6-8 guy. I'm not necessarily expecting him to average 28-6-8. Otherwise, Lakers probably win multiple championships, but can he be a 23-6-6 guy or 23-5-6 guy, right? You want to see that balance. So when Luka gets the night off or Luka's on the bench or whatever, Austin Reaves is the guy that can step up, make the plays, and do those things. That's what I want to continue to see. So, let's see. Do you use the same camera for lives versus videos? I feel like your quality is very different. No, I have like a webcam, like a Logitech webcam for the live streams. And then I have a camera for like the videos. Also I use StreamYard, and like sometimes cause I have it on like the 1080 or whatever, 4K or whatever, cause I pay for the StreamYard thing. But it doesn't always come out that way. Right. Like sometimes you'll watch some of these live streams and it's like crystal clear. It's beautiful. It looks great. And then some of them can be like a little grainy. It's just StreamYard, we're going to be okay. Agreed. Like I said, I think this Lakers team is going to be very good. Very good. Lakers are a very good basketball team. They have really good pieces to make a great start. So LeBron doesn't have to rush back. Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, LeBron said it in Mind the Game, right? Like, he feels like this team can help him kind of ramp up. Like, look, I said it when we got the news about LeBron. I believe this team is a playoff team without LeBron. LeBron to me is the guy that puts us over the top, right? Like there's like LeBron is the difference from us being the 5th or 6th seed to the 2 or 3 seed, and us being, a good team that maybe has a chance if Luka's just, lights out and Austin Reaves, is a superstar to no, this team is a real true contender, right? Like the Lakers are going to be good. I'm not worried about the Lakers being good. Just worried about all the pieces coming together and you building that chemistry enough come playoff time. Because again, Luka and LeBron, there's a difference between or even let's add Austin Reaves to it. Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reaves. There's a difference between, these 3 look great, and these 3 nobody's beating in a 7-game series, right? Like there's levels to this. So they need to play with this type of focus. Yeah, again, just buy in, execute, run your sets. Again, you got to keep in mind the first 2 preseason games, they literally had, I believe, 2 practices. If I'm not mistaken, I think JJ said they had 2 practices. They're missing half their guys. They're still missing half their guys, right? Like, again, I'm not worried yet. I obviously want to carve things out. I want to see the progression, right? Like talked about after the last game, right? Like I want to see, we're going to get a whole week in between. You're going to get a handful of practices in that time. We need to see the difference. I thought this game, you saw a clear difference. I thought this game was very obvious that the Lakers practiced, right? Hopefully, Austin is not injured too badly. We need him. I didn't look anything. I mean, sometimes you never really know, but didn't look anything like super major. Like it just because I think if it was anything super major, you probably would have just stayed down. But got up, ran up and down the court, kind of threw the ball away or whatever. Called for the sub. Again, you don't want to see it. It never looks good, right, when stuff like that happens. But it looked just like he got bumped knee to knee. And then it looked like he kind of rolled his ankle. If that's all it is, fingers crossed, then, I think he'll be fine. You have him sit and then just play again for the dress rehearsal. Let's go, Tyler. I know it's just preseason, but still a great dub. Ayton was amazing. He is going to be so good, man. I can't wait for him and Luka together. Agreed. Likewise. Hope Reaves is okay and nothing serious. Yeah, like I said, it didn't look anything serious. Obviously, again, I'm not a doctor. Obviously, I don't know. It's not like I called Reaves and was like, hey, buddy, you good? Like, but, at least watching, and then watching the replay didn't look, it didn't look good. Bane knees hurts, rolled his ankle. That not good, but it didn't look or appear to be anything major. Hoping that's the case. I'm sure we'll get some news. Maybe we even already got news. But I'm excited. DeAndre Ayton, again, continues to just be very impressive. And I'm excited to kind of see him kind of, play and feed off of Luka Doncic here. Rui's looking strong. Yes. Again, continue to be aggressive, right? Like JJ Redick said, he wants him to be aggressive. Stay aggressive. Right? Rui is more often than not a significant mismatch because you think about it, right? The center is going to defend DeAndre Ayton. outside of that, the best defensive player is defending Luka. Second best defensive player is probably, if they can match up, LeBron James. If not Austin Reaves, then they're hoping that they have another guy that can defend LeBron. Right? So Rui Hachimura is going to be the fourth, fifth. He's more often than not, Rui's going to have the mismatch, right? Which is why, and I mean, he's had it for years, which is why I'm like, dude, we should run our offense through him more. I'm not saying you have to run every possession, but capitalize and take advantage of those mismatches. What's up as it stands? We got the first win of the preseason game. So happy. Let's keep it going. Yes, again, I'm glad. I am very glad, right? You don't want to lose all the preseason games, right? Again, I don't really care either way, especially context is important, right? When none of your players are playing or half of your players are playing, and you don't have your stars and stuff. But I really liked that we got this one. I'm glad that we got it. Nick Smith Jr. is a really good role player. Hopefully he can piece a good piece long-term next to Luka. Yes, again, I really like him. I look at him more not as a guy slaughtered alongside Luka. I mean, on occasion at times. I look at him more as that Lou Williams type role. Guy coming off the bench, go get you, 15 a night, be that bucket getter, maybe be in the conversation for six man a couple times. The shooting is still hot and cold though. I don't think they'll be best offense, maybe top 10. I mean, again, big difference when Luka comes. Big difference. Lakers look at it like this. Lakers had Austin Reaves for half the game, no LeBron and Luka Doncic, and they put up 126 points. I know it's preseason, but that's ridiculous. They put up 126 points with half a game of your third best scoring option. No, again, Luka is outside of Jokic, not named Jokic, the best offensive engine in all of basketball. Right? Think of just how much on average he is responsible for offensively. Talk about a guy that is like 38-8. You're talking about bare minimum. You're talking about, roughly 46 points that he accounts for on a nightly basis. And that's just counting twos for the assists. It's not counting threes or anything else, right? It's probably closer to 50 plus, right? So you're talking literally a third of your offense, more than that, right? It's probably like 40% of your offense is just on Luka. Right, like you're basically missing, 30 to 40% of your offense just on Luka, and Lakers dropped 126 points. Lakers are going to be a very good basketball team. Yes, their shooting is hot and cold. They don't have like a bunch of like super elite shooters, but they're not going to be super reliant on the three ball. Right, you got too many guys that are just too effective in the short game. Right, again, Rui Hachimura, DeAndre Ayton, LeBron James, Austin Reaves, Luka Doncic. Right, like. Most of your guys are in that like 15 range anyway, right? You want guys that can spread the floor, Jake LaRavia, Dalton Knecht, Rui Hachimura, guys like that. But, you got to think Luka's probably going to shoot, 8 threes a game at a 37% clip, right? Like a lot of your shooting is going to come from him. LeBron, right? If LeBron, what did LeBron say himself? What do you say? He said, I just worked on my catch and shoot threes all offseason. Right. So again, probably half of your threes are coming from LeBron and Luka. Right. So really it's how are they going to be? Ayton and Luka is going to be scary. Agreed. Water is wet. Let's hear the excuses. That win shows that my Warriors are not serious because the deal is on the opening night. We about to cook the Lakers by 50. Good luck. I love how you said your Warriors aren't serious and then followed that up by my unserious team is going to win by 50. Okay. Yeah, dude, Nick Smith Jr. is going to be buckets. Good job. Yes. Reaves was trying to find Ayton, just rusty passes, I'm guessing. Yeah, also it's just, again, it's building that chemistry. It's building that understanding. Also Reaves, you started to see after we got Luka, like he threw the lob, right? I'm not saying Austin Reaves never threw the lob, but it wasn't something that he looked for regularly, right? We saw when Luka came, Austin Reaves started to look for that a little more. I just think it's something that he needs to personally work on, that touch, right? You got to have that touch, right? Like he's looking for Ayton, but we've seen a couple times the pass just kind of gets away, or Ayton has to kind of salvage it or whatever. RJ Davis is tough. Yes, he's looking. I like what we're seeing from him. Nick Smith Jr. and RJ Davis are looking really nice, bro. Could be some key two-way guys that can fill in whatever needed. I also really want to see Chris Menon. Not sure why he isn't getting any looks. I don't know why he hasn't gotten any run either. I haven't seen anything about injuries. Maybe there is, but it's you'd think you'd get some looks for him. Maybe as we, you still have 3 more preseason games. So for LeBron is going to miss So for LeBron James is going to miss the season opener. When you're opinion, how many games and wins are the Lakers without when LeBron James comes back? I mean, it depends on how many games he actually misses. You're talking probably around, I don't know, probably at least 10 games, most likely. I think it really just depends on how do the Lakers look, right? Like if through 10 games, Lakers are 7-3, then LeBron James can take his time, right? It also depends on how badly does LeBron want to be all NBA, right? Because he's not going to win MVP or anything like that. So how badly does he want the all NBA accolades? If he doesn't really care, then I could see him like, hey, get 100%. If you have to miss the first 20 games, as long as the Lakers are good, right, and are able to hold their own, then take your time, right? Like, because again, I think this team can be a playoff team without LeBron. Obviously, you want to build chemistry, you want to build that relationship, but we're not winning a championship without a healthy LeBron, right? LeBron James to me is the thing that puts you over the top because he's making $50 million and he's still a top 10 player in all of basketball, right? So to me, I think it really boils down to how good the Lakers are. But let's say he misses 10 games. I think 6-4, 7-3, somewhere in that range. Their schedule is pretty reasonable for them. They have a good they have a couple tough games, but they also have some really games that they should win even without LeBron. RJ Davis reminds me of Scottie Pippen Jr. Yeah, I mean, kind of like the style in which he plays. RJ Davis is a little more explosive, right? I like him explosive wise. And out the gate, he's been better, right? Scottie Pippen Jr. was a little shaky for us. He just got to go to Memphis at the perfect time, right? He went to Memphis, and Memphis basically just tanked and packed it in. So Scottie Pippen Jr. got to play, 35 minutes a night. And he had some atrocious games. He had some games that were like, dude, this is not good. But he also had some really good games. But Memphis was in a position, like Scottie Pippen he just got to the right situation at the right time. Memphis was just in the right spot to where they were hey, it's okay. Like, go out there and put up a stinker. Like, it's fine, right? Like, so that's the problem with the Lakers is it's hard. You see guys, leave the Lakers and go elsewhere, but, the context matters, right? Like, Jay Huff was really good. Again, he got to play 35 minutes. He's not doing that on the Lakers, right? So I kind of feel the same way. I like that RJ Davis looks better out the gate than Scottie Pippen did. But, again, it's just how much opportunity does he get? What's going on, Anthony? Appreciate you. And Lakers didn't. I love how you just pretended like the Lakers had all their entire roster, right? But Lakers didn't have their guys either. So let's pretend. Nate Williams is showing some promise on the defense. Yes, I really like Nate Williams as that dirty work guy. Like I said, that hustle guy that just comes in. Hey, just give us a solid 10 minutes, Nick Smith Jr. did great today. I'm surprised. Well, don't be, because again, he proved it in Charlotte, right? Like, he's a guy that can be a bucket. And I see him as a, Lou Williams type guy. Ayton went off and still no one can get him the ball. Imagine with Luka. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, Ayton's going to be, people are going to be shocked. Lakers gave up 35 free throws and allowed Golden State to shoot 53% from the field and 44% from three, 80% from free throw line from 35 free throws. Not good. Need to fix that ASAP. Yeah, again, it's preseason. You don't have Luka. Luka's going to be on ball. LeBron's going to be on ball good majority of the time, right? Like, you're not going to have Rui handling the ball as much as he did and him having the usage rate that he had, right? He had 4 of the turnovers. That leads into those opportunities, right? Like, Jared Vanderbilt's going to be playing. Like, even you look at the personal fouls and stuff like that, right? Like, you had Nate Williams with 2, right? That leads to free throws. RJ Davis with 2. Like, they're not gonna be in there getting a bunch of fouls, right? Like, so again, definitely things that need to clean up, but that's what preseason is for, right? This wasn't a perfect game by any stretch. Guys need to do a better job of take care of the basketball, defend without fouling, hitting shots, playing within the defense. So got to continue to build. It's what these practices are for, and what all these other things are. Let's see. Again, just I love how you just completely ignore that the Lakers were without LeBron and Luka and Austin Reaves for half a game, and Marcus Smart and hey, what's going on, Alec? How are you? What's going on, Daniel? How are you? Let me find something. How does Vando move like that, bro? Dude, that guy is he's incredible. I love watching him play. That hustle, all of that. We get Smart playing like he can. That will be tough to beat. Agreed. Especially on that defensive side. Because look at his number. He didn't play a ton from Memphis, but they were like, I think, a +7 off the top of my head, something like that, with him on the court. So we need that. Sucks Braun is out, but we'll be fine. We need him come playoff time. Anyways, Luka, Reaves, and Ayton should be able to handle things until he's back. Just need him healthy. Yeah, agreed. And also, again, I think that this is a good opportunity for guys to kind of pick things up, right? Rui can be more aggressive, Jake LaRavia, Dalton Knecht, guys like that. But it also gives the Lakers an opportunity to look at Luka, Austin Reaves, and DeAndre Ayton, right? If the Lakers, start 7-3, it's a good sign that these 3 guys might be able to do something with the right complementary pieces, right? But if they're 3-7, it's like, maybe that changes things. Maybe the Lakers do start looking to trade Austin Reaves, right? Like, it'll be good to kind of get that opportunity to kind of at least get some sample size. Ayton has a great attitude. Yeah, I mean, look, he said himself, he knows and understands that, like, this might be his last chance. But also, you got to keep in mind, it's one thing when you're on a team like Portland where you were traded there because they promised you to be the guy. You weren't that guy. You're losing and tanking on purpose, and they have no desire to win because they're trying to get draft picks and all that stuff, but they still want you to buy in and be a model citizen. And then you go to the Lakers, who have Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Austin Reaves, and they're trying to win an NBA championship. Again, context matters, right? Like, he you know what he looks like? Ayton that was on the Phoenix Suns, right? Like, why? Because he was on a team that actually cared and that actually mattered. Lakers have around 10 days until the first game. I need to give Luka and Smart at least 1 game of preseason run. So based on the reports, the plan is for them to play at least 2 games. They have 3 games left, right? They have a back-to-back. So they're definitely not going to play in the back-to-back. So I think that they probably play Dallas. Probably play in the Dallas game because of Luka. Probably get the Dallas game. We probably get the Portland game, or probably the 2 games, my guess. Rui looks more lean. Vando's shot is beyond bad. It's not. It's really not. Right? Like, if you're just looking at whether he's making or missing, then yes, it looks bad. His shot is completely revamped. Again, go look at the shooting mechanic the last few seasons and look at his shooting mechanic now. Any player that changes their shooting mechanic over the offseason usually takes a while to get in-game reps. I'm not saying Rui Hachimura or that Jared Vanderbilt's going to shoot 42% from three-point range, but his shot is a lot quicker. The release is a lot better. His shot is a lot smoother. He's much more comfortable with that shot. And again, big difference between shooting in an open gym with a guy that's holding a stick and actual in-game situations with pressure and things like that. Give it time. They even said, don't be shocked if the first 20 games of the season, Jared Vanderbilt's shooting 25% from three-point range. And then by the end of the season, it's like, wow, Jared Vanderbilt got to 33%. And it's like, dang, he shot, 38% over, the last 3 months or whatever, right? Like, again, judging on his shot looks much, much, much better, right? I think he just needs in-game reps. That doesn't mean he's going to shoot 40% from three-point range and become Klay Thompson out there. But again, can he get to 34% from three-point range? Big difference. If AD was the same age as Luka, do the Lakers still do the trade? Yes, because Luka's still. I mean, again, Luka is, potentially one of the greatest players ever. Anthony Davis, don't get me wrong, is great, but Luka's done more. Right? So, like, if you look at Anthony Davis's stint with the Pelicans, right? Like, he got out of the first round once, I think, off the top of my head, something like that. Luka's been to conference finals, NBA finals, right? Like, Luka's the better player, right? Like, Anthony Davis, don't get me wrong, he had years where is he the best player in all of basketball? Right? Like, the season or two before that, there were genuine questions about that, and then they lost to the Warriors and whatnot. But Luka's just, assuming that the same age, Luka's still would probably be the better player. But I don't think you'd have to give up like Max Christie and all that other stuff. Like, so the package might have been very different. It would have been closer, type thing. Starting five will be Luka, Reaves, Rui, Braun, and Ayton. I don't think so. Look, if the reports are true, the Lakers are deciding between Marcus Smart, Jared Vanderbilt, and Jake LaRavia. Means Rui's not even in the conversation for starters. I think you go with Jared Vanderbilt personally. Ayton should be the third scoring option. He's going to average 20 or better easily and shoot better, 50% from the field. So I've talked about this all offseason. I really think just naturally, right? Obviously, we won't know until we actually get there. But I think naturally, DeAndre Ayton just becomes the third option, right? Particularly because Luka's going to have the ball in his hands a good majority of the time. And I just think Luka's going to be his favorite outlet is the lob threat, right? Like, I just think that two-man game is going to be the best game in all of basketball. I think naturally DeAndre Ayton will just end up becoming the third option. But again, we'll see. We'll see how it kind of plays out. I was hoping Smart would play today, but hopefully we'll see him next game or something, Luka as well, just to get him ramped up a bit before the season begins. Yeah, the plan is 2 games. So hopefully that's actually what happened. So, let's see. Sorry, trying to find something to me. Let's see. Hey, Tyler. I watched your LeBron video. Personally, I think it's more than that this roster isn't built for a championship. I think LeBron is butthurt by the Lakers. Made a lot of LeBron videos today, but if you're talking about the recent report that came out that LeBron is basically monitoring the Lakers to see if they're any good or not, and then making a decision if he wants out and to be traded. Oh, you added more. And doesn't want to be the bad guy, doesn't want to flat out ask for a trade. So he's trying to find a reason that doesn't have him look bad. I mean, look, if he really wanted to be traded and went to the Lakers and asked for a trade, the Lakers would trade him. How do we know this? It was last season, right? The Warriors were trying to get him, and the Lakers went to LeBron and said, do you want to be traded? The problem is, and I made this video earlier today, what is LeBron's market? Again, LeBron is still top 10 player in basketball, 6 in MVP voting, and all that stuff. But how many teams have the money to go and trade for him without gutting their roster, while also making a trade that satisfies the Lakers and helping their needs, while, because the Lakers aren't going to just take on a bunch of bad contracts, right? There's just so much that goes into it. So you need to find a team that LeBron wants to go to. You need to find a team that actually wants LeBron. How many teams are willing to sell the farm to go get LeBron, as good as he is, with a sciatica issue? And on top of that, he might retire at the end of the year, right? So there's so many things, there's so many variables in a potential LeBron trade, right? If LeBron wanted out, they would trade him, right? LeBron doesn't have to look like the bad guy. I mean, if the Lakers asked, or if LeBron went to the Lakers and asked for a trade, the Lakers could just be like, hey, it's a mutually beneficial thing. We're going the route of Luka Doncic. We're rebuilding, retool. Like, if they were ever going to trade LeBron, it was this offseason. He opts in and you trade him, right? And LeBron doesn't look bad. No one looks bad. They both sides could have just said, "Hey, it's Luka's team now, right? I want to hand the keys to Luka and spend my last few years with the Warriors because I've always wanted to play." Like, I don't think anyone would care, right? Like, LeBron fans would just follow him wherever he goes, and then Laker fans, the ones that support him as a Laker would be like, "Hey, we're in the Luka era," right? And then the ones that never wanted him will be like, "Good riddance," right? Like, I don't think LeBron would look bad either way if he asked out for a trade. It obviously depends on how it handled, right? But the report that came out makes him look awful. Like, if like what you're saying is, LeBron doesn't want to look bad, that report is the opposite. That report, if again, Dave McMillan, you're trusting that is, it kind of sounds more like his thoughts than an actual, like, he heard that, but that probably came from somewhere unless he just made it up. But my thing is, like, if the report is true, which again, I don't buy it. I think it's nonsense. But if the report is true, then what it's saying is LeBron James is looking at this and going, even though I am not healthy, even though I can't help and contribute to wins, if you don't win without me, I want out. That makes him look awful. And that also makes him look like he's not good enough, right? Like, LeBron is still supposed to be a top 10 player, 6 in MVP voting, and all this stuff. If LeBron doesn't think he's a difference between this team being a good team or, a great team, right? Like, let's say the Lakers are 500 without him, right? You're adding what is supposed to be a top 10 player in 6th in MVP voting, right? Like, so if that report is true, then that means LeBron or Rich Paul or whoever said that doesn't believe LeBron is good enough. Right now, obviously, LeBron isn't what he was, even the bubble season, right? But he's still supposed to be good. Like, you're telling me LeBron isn't the difference between this team being a playoff team or a contender? Because I believe he is, right? So I just, again, I don't think it's that. I think it's just the media train. It's the off season and they're bored, right? Like, that's what I think it is, personally. But appreciate you. They just hang out because they have nothing they can do at night and act that way. Whatever, dime a dozen, same old tripe. Yeah. Lakers will be a top 4 team. Home court advantage first round. I mean, yeah, I think Lakers are a top 3-4 seed. Again, Lakers will be much better this year than they were last year. So, but you also got to keep in mind, Lakers could be better this year and still finish worse. Like, they could technically have a better record and still finish worse, depending on tiebreakers and all those other things. Ball movement is key to this team's success. Agreed. Lakers will finish above the Warriors. Dude, State Farm, Jake's layup package is horrible. LOL. Yeah, that botched layup, yeah, it was not good. But look, he's had some nice, like, he had some good finish through contact moments, stuff like that. But let's see. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something. Thank God Reaves is fine. Yeah, like I said, it's preseason. Like, you got to imagine that Warrior fans are salty. So let me find something to me. Some of these comments are hilarious. Austin is nice, but not worth over $100 million, which he would command in free agency. I mean, I think he's worth $100 million, like, over 4 or 5. Like, he's a $25 to $30 million player. Just looking at the going rate, I look, I'm first want to be critical of Austin Reaves. I am not against trading him. All of that, I mean, more often than not, I get called an Austin Reaves hater than anything, and I just think I'm fair about Austin Reaves. I think $25 million would be, with the new CBA, I think he's probably closer to $25 million, but he'll probably get closer to $35 million. If you could get Austin Reaves for 4 years, $120 million, I'd keep him. because I think one, he'd be cheap enough. I think he'd still be cheap enough, and teams would have, there'd be enough interest from teams to where I think they would trade for him still, and you wouldn't be stuck with him. But also, if it works, then you got him on still a good deal for a guy that's supposed to be your second option. I just think going off of the going rate, I think he's about 100 to $120 million player. Problem is, he's probably going to get more than that, and that's my concern. Because again, with this new CBA, big difference between 30 and 35 million. Luka and Ayton about to go crazy. Agreed. Trade AR now. I mean, look, if you can find the right trade, again, I'm not against trading AR at all. But yeah, it has to make sense, right? Like you can't just give AR away, right? Like you're better off signing him than just losing him for nothing or just giving him away, right? The trade has to make sense, right? Like, I'm not trading him for Colin Sexton just so we have expiring contracts, right? Like, it's got to be something that makes sense. So Lakers got to be patient in that regard. The offense would look scary with elite ball handling. Yes, agree. Like I said, wait till Luka comes back. Do you see Ayton be a 20 and 10 guy? I think he can be. I without like zero doubt, he can be. Like I wouldn't be shocked if he's like a 23 and 10 guy, right? Again, he was 18 and 12 or whatever, 18 and 11 with Chris Paul. He'll be, at least 20 and 10 with Luka Doncic. I just don't know if he'll be that this year, right? Like I've said, I see Ayton realistically in that probably 15 point a game range. I wouldn't be shocked if he just naturally becomes a third guy if he's kind of in that 18 range. So I think 15 to 18 is probably a safe bet for what Ayton will be. But that's because, again, you got Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Austin Reaves. Ayton at best is probably your third option. At worst is probably your fourth. So if he's your fourth option, then I think if he's giving you 15 a game, if he's 15 and 10 as our fourth option, or even 14 and 10 as our fourth option, Lakers are going to be elite, right? But if he actually kind of emerges as like our third option, then I could see him in that 18 to 20 range. Let's see. One win, one step closer to getting that preseason championship. Yeah, right. Like that's what we're coming for. Slowly but surely. Love the way DA, Jake, Rui, DK, Gabe, and Vando play today. Hope AR is okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's anything major. Draymond will punch someone in the face and say he did nothing wrong starting fights at illegal screens. He's got to chill. Yeah, I mean, look, Draymond's been Draymond his whole career, and they haven't changed that or fixed that or forced him to stop that. And just, again, it's just one of those things. But yeah, I really liked how the team played today. You can see the growth and difference between the first game and now, which is what you want to see, right? You want to see the growth and potential. Hey, Tyler, who would you choose? DeAndre Ayton or Andrew Bynum? If you're talking about like prime peak Andrew Bynum, Andrew Bynum. I mean, Andrew Bynum, you at that state, I mean, him and Dwight Howard were talked about as the best centers in all of basketball, right? Like Andrew Bynum was good, like really good. Could do everything, knock down the mid range, like defend, be your defensive anchor. Like Andrew Bynum was great. With Luka, I'd probably, I mean, you could make an argument to lean towards Ayton just because of his athleticism and the dunk ability, but it's not like Andrew Bynum couldn't be that dunker. Andrew Bynum was also just a better defensive player. But yeah, I'd probably take Bynum because again, I mean, you're talking about his size, his strength, his interior presence, him being able to be the lob threat. It was just a better defensive player, while still he's not as athletic as Ayton, but he still had the offensive game. Ayton did have a great game. Wait, I didn't get to see the game, guys. Reaves got hurt. Yes, didn't look terrible. It just, kind of just bumped knees and looked like he may have rolled his ankle. He got kneed. JJ said he's fine. Okay, perfect. Brought his boyfriend for great. Let's see. Lakers could easily win without LeBron James. What's going on, Mr. 81? Appreciate you. Trade Reaves. He's injury prone. Reaves, look, say what you want about Austin Reaves. Injury prone is the opposite of what he is. Austin Reaves has been like the healthiest player we've had. He played all 82 games 2 seasons ago. He played 70 last season. Let's see. Please trade Reaves. We ain't winning championship with Reaves and Luka backcourt. Again, I'm not against trading Austin Reaves, but it has to make sense. You have to find the right trade for him. You can't just trade him just to trade him. The last Hornets guard we signed ended up being good. You know what's funny is I talked about Malik Monk. I said the exact same thing, right? I was like, this could be our new Malik Monk, right? And I did when I made the first video, like when he got bought out, and I was like, hey, should the Lakers sign him? That entire thing, I was like, think of Malik Monk. So I'm right there with you. Alex, did Chris Menon play? I didn't watch the whole game. No. We still haven't gotten to see him, which I think is weird. Let's see. Oh no, I'm trying to find something to me. I thought that was to me. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something to me. Let's see. Luka's about to dominate. Yeah, I can't wait to see Luka come back because he's going to, like I said, he's gonna have such an easy time. Everything's gonna come. It's gonna be great. No, they don't. They just talk nonsense. I wonder where is Chris Menon, dude? Why is he not playing? I know it's kind of weird that he hasn't. We haven't seen him play get any type of burn. You think he'd get something. You're not. I know maybe I need to start a Warriors channel because it must be dry, right? Maybe all the money's in Warrior content because the Warrior content creators are. Maybe they just don't really have good ones. I don't know because it is, but it's not even just water's wet. Like we'll get random Warrior people in here all the time. It's just as weird. I don't know. Maybe I need to start a as it stands Warriors. Maybe that's where the money's at. Tyler, how'd you make your millions? Well, I just became the best Warrior content creator. Aren't you a Laker fan? Yeah, but I'm also a money fan. How'd you make your first million? Let's see. I think, and this is just speculation, but looking at the schedule, I think the next 2 games will be the dress rehearsal. Games JJ was talking about Mavs for sure. I know Luka wants to cook them again. Well, Lakers play back-to-back games next, so I don't think that they're going to do the back-to-back thing. But I think we'll probably get Dallas and then the last game, which is the Blazers game. Those 2 games I think will be the 2 kind of dress rehearsal games. Let's see. Can you give awards like Trevor Lane? I mean, I'm not Laker Nation. I want to rip off Laker Nation. It's awesome that they kind of do that thing. I give praise. I will usually talk about, I'll be like, man, the MVP of this game was, Ayton or whatever, but the master lock and all that other stuff that they do, again, I'm not gonna I'm just gonna blatantly rip them off. I'm sure they wouldn't care either way, but I just, that's their thing. I just answer the questions, right? Go through try to get through the entire chat and then just kind of break down the players, right? I go more in depth on the player breakdown because usually I don't know, how many live streams you've been in, but usually I start the streams. I give the general breakdown of my thoughts of the game. Then I break down the players and then I answer the questions. So I'll do usually more in-depth player breakdowns than, them. I'll go over pretty much all the players quickly, kind of run through their opinions or my opinion on their performance, kind of their general play, the goods, the bads. I break down the game a little more. So, I kind of spend more time doing that and then getting through all the chat. But yeah, I appreciate you nonetheless. I know I get it. It's fun to, do all that stuff. I get why you and others might want something like that, but kind of, that's one of the things Lakers Nation does to kind of separate themselves. I'd rather, separate myself in other ways. Key players, best players, worst play, some suggestions. I mean, I do that in general. It's just not like awards. Like I usually, like I said, every game I talk about like, man, dude, this guy, I loved what we saw from him. Like I said, I'll do the player breakdowns more than anything. And then I do like the game breakdown. So usually I spend the first 10, 15 minutes or so breaking down the game and breaking down all the players. And then I use the last, 45 minutes to an hour, sometimes longer, depending on, how it's going, or how important the game was or whatever, breaking, going through all the chat, like I am right now. But I appreciate you. Again, appreciate that. Let me see. Find something to me. Let's do a couple more questions. I'm going to get on out of here. RJ Davis as future instant offense is worth G League investment two-way. I mean, we haven't seen, Chris Menon. I mean, he's not really looked at as an offensive player yet. He's more of just that like defensive, athletic kind of guy. He's like guard version of Jared Vanderbilt, or at least that's the idea. He did show some promise for the Warriors in Summer League defensively, but yeah, I mean, RJ Davis definitely worth the investment. My concern though is if you don't get him on a two-way, somebody comes in and snags him. So that's a little concerning. Imagine if DK became like Max Christie type of player. When he gets traded, I'll crash out. I mean, Max Christie's game was defense, right? Like right out the gate, he was like a good defensive player. You were like, man, you could see this guy being a legit two-way. It was the offensive side of things that he really struggled on, right? And then kind of came into his own off, and then you started seeing that growth and development. Dalton Knecht is the opposite. So it's just, can he buy in on the defensive side of things? Because we know he can score the basketball. The Warriors team is about as old as the Warriors movie from 1979. I hope that they make it to the end of the season. Ben Gay will be, if they start the players that they're projected to start, they would be the oldest team in NBA history, like starting unit in NBA history. I like how Vando was used as the roller in the pick and roll. Reaves obviously has to work on his lob passes. Yeah, definitely has to work on his lob passes. But yes, I like the actions that they're putting Vando in, and then even DeAndre Ayton, the way that they were operating him. Am I crazy wanting to see Luka, Austin, Dalton Knecht, and Maxi Kleber lineup? Problem is Maxi Kleber ever going to actually play basketball? Right, like the guy just cannot stay healthy. Is that report about the starters talking about the team without LeBron, or actually when LeBron is back and stuff? You're talking about the Dave McMenamin report. That was while he's out. He supposedly like that he's going to be looking at this Lakers and how well they play without him, which is why I thought it was ridiculous. It's like, so you're going to judge this team without what is supposed to be the second best player? No one will take LeBron's $52 million contract. That's the thing. I could see the Warriors doing it just because, like, for whatever reason, they really want to pair LeBron and Steph. And, a team like Charlotte or somebody might do it just because of the financial reasons. But again, the team that he actually wants to go to, I don't see, at least this season. The only team that would do it, it's the Warriors. I agree. All right. Let me do like 3 more questions. Get out of here. Also, my laptop's about to die, so let me find a couple more to me. Bynum is the NBA's biggest what if. I mean, he's definitely, you could argue he's definitely one of them. I mean, if he never gets hurt, I mean, that guy was ridiculous. If Reaves and Luka can carry us in a good playoff spot, I'd let LeBron rest. Well, you do want him to play, a good amount of games, right? You want him to get the reps. You want him to get you want to build the chemistry out there. You don't want to just like, hey, playoffs are here, let's throw LeBron in, right? But you won't have to rush to have him do that. Tyler, if you can, there we go. I'm back. Sorry, like I said, my laptop was dying. I was trying to answer a few more questions before my laptop died, but um, here, let me get back into this. Thank you all for waiting around. Yeah, like I said, I thought it would last a little longer. It still said 7%, but that died quick. Tyler, if you can trade AR for Brandon Ingram, would you do it? No, not for Brandon Ingram. I like Brandon Ingram a lot. In theory, he makes some sense, right? A guy that can make plays, self-create, score the basketball, size, length, right? But I mean, the guy can't play 40 games, right? Like the best ability is availability. I personally would stay away from him. Let's see. Tyler, if Yane Hansen didn't get drafted in the first round, Lakers had a chance to draft him. Would you still draft a do if Yane Hansen is available? At the time, yes, because we didn't even have a center, right? Like, so, but if we knew DeAndre Ayton was going to be a Laker, then no, I would have went with a dude zero, right? Because if DeAndre Ayton works out, he's your long-term center answer. But, given the fact we wouldn't have known at that time that DeAndre Ayton was going to be a Laker, no, I would have went and drafted Hansen. My bad. I worded that wrong. I mean, the three guys they're considering starting like Vando, Smart, and Oh, okay. Got it. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the other report about LeBron viewing them. Yes, with LeBron as the starter, right? So Jared Vanderbilt, Marcus Smart, and Jake LaRavia are, again, based on the report that came out, the three that are being looked at the most. And that came from, I believe it was Evan Sidery off the top of my head. He's the one that said that those are the three guys. We got him back. Yes. Yes. We will be good, man, offense and defense. Yeah. I think the Lakers will be one of, if not the best offenses in all of basketball. And then the defense, just, can they be middle of the pack? Right. Can the Lakers be, 12 to 15th defensively, and Lakers will be a title contender. So we'll see how that plays out. Yes, and Bronny played 16 minutes and we won. Yes, it's beautiful. But anyway, I'm gonna skate on out of here. Again, let my laptop die and stuff like that. And then we got back-to-back games coming up here day and a half now. But again, I appreciate everyone that hung out with me. Seriously, thank you all so very much. Great to get that first preseason win. Feels good to now, kind of build off of this and then into the regular season. But I appreciate everyone hanging out for me. Sorry, I kind of my laptop died in the middle of it.